We're going to start with a little music. The theme for today is the healthy spiral. I have a couple of poems for us to begin. This is by Hafiz. Everything of intelligence innocently watches the way one manages their care of form. One's care of form is as a divine audition to the Firmament's Ballet Company. And the second one may be more familiar, by Mary Oliver. It's called A Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down into the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Mary Oliver. Welcome to Shelter and Grace. It is my 50th day of doing these things. These sound meditations for a pandemic. It is Friday, May 8th, 2020. And today's theme is the healthy spiral. It's brought to you by myself, Reverend Elizabeth, and San Francisco Unity. There's some delicious things I have in store for you today. But first, I want to tell you what the readings are going to be, and the readings are A Summer Day, which you've just heard from Mary Oliver. Her book is from the House of Light, and then also published in New and Selected Poems, 1992. Hafiz is from this, which is The Gift, translated by Ladinsky. The poem is called His Ballet Company. And, of course, Daily Word from Healing. Healing was from yesterday. I am aware that some people may say that I am in a role because I am in a rut, because those are the same three inspirational sources that I used yesterday. Not the same poems, but the same sources. But I'm saying one person's rut is another person's roll. And today it feels like a roll. It feels like an upward spiral. We're also going to hear from a neuroscientist from his book, The Upward Spiral, That is New Harbinger Publications. And then a quick excerpt from a Vanity Fair obit of Mary Oliver in January 2019. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about how to actively use sound, and then we'll set an intention, and then we'll begin with the readings. Oh, maybe this is a good time to introduce the flowers. This is 3 flowers today. This is an ancient sweet pea, one of the first hybrid sweet peas. Oh, it smells amazing. This is the top one is Princess Alexander of Kent. And the bottom one, what's the bottom one?
Nunce.
Nunce. Yves Paget, yes. So, we use it all here. So, sound meditation is an active practice of receiving. It is an active practice of receiving. It's a contemplative practice of listening. And the point for me of listening is to hear our inner voice better. It's about self-soothing the voices of fear, so we can gentle them and we can hear that still small voice, what is ours to do in the next moment, and to figure out what to do with our one wild and precious life. I use poems to get to an inner wisdom. Poetry is like an open-ended question. It's not telling you what to think. It's asking you what you know. This is by Naomi Nye. Poetry calls us to pause. There is so much we overlook while the abundance around us continues to shimmer on its own. And now, why sound? Sound is not music. It has its own, music has its own order, but sound, not just the sound, but the silence that it merges into, we create our own order. I believe it's a wonderful vehicle for getting underneath the stories, for listening better. The practice here is also about not judging anything, which is a great practice for everything, but not making any of it wrong. Whether the sound hits you wrong, or whether it hits you with so much wonder that your heart opens up. We don't make any of it wrong. It's about dropping down and being with that presence. It's what it is for me. And sound is, we also use sound because we are vibration. On a quantum level, we can resonate with beauty or with sound or with principle, or that field of oneness, that kingdom of God within. When we drop down from our heads to our hearts, we are more vibration than we are anything else. And our bodies hold so much. We can send the sound actively to those parts of our bodies that are hurting or that need to be relaxed. And we actively use images. The sounds of nature in the background are also perhaps a lovely image for you to send that to any place that is tense or troublesome this morning. So in summary, we use it all. So the theme today is the healthy spiral. How do we start an upward spiral? One of my friends, Cinder Ernst, also a coach, her favorite phrase was sweet small steps. And Alex Korb, who is a PhD neuroscientist, in his book Upward Spiral, talked about this in exactly the same way. Once you start being productive, he was just talking about being procrastinating. But once you start being productive, dopamine is released into the striatum and parts of the prefrontal cortex. Suddenly you will have more energy and motivation to do the thing you really need to do. It's perfectly fine to procrastinate a little. Just try being more productive in your procrastination. Sweet small steps. Once you start being productive, dopamine is released. I just said that. Yeah. He goes on to say, make your nervous system an ally instead of an enemy. You have the power to create good habits, and good habits have the power to reverse the course of depression. He's not talking about spirituality. He's talking about chemistry. He's talking about neuroscientists. He's talking about hardcore science, double-blind studies. We can make our nervous system our friend. And my question is, interestingly enough, Mary Oliver was not an instant success. For years and years, the critics dismissed her. This is from Vanity Fair in an article in 2019. Oliver was one of the most decorated poets in American literature. Guggenheim Foundation Fellowship, Pulitzer, National Book Award. Even as she gained renown, critics still managed to dismiss her poems as earnest and uncomplicated. Critics speak for lightweight. It didn't help that much that women heralded her words in spaces like O Magazine, Pinterest, and chalkboard signs outside in boutiques, clothing stores. And yes, Summer Day, which we read today, and is probably the most well-known poem. It is catnip for the inspiration-seeking set. I am a self-identified inspiration-seeking set. So tell me, as we set our intentions today, what is on your to-do list for your one wild and precious life? I want to do 3 bells to allow us to think about what our intention is today. What do you want to let go of, and what do you want to claim? And we begin. Health is an inner quality, always available to me, no matter my circumstances. Healing and health happens in my mind and my body. It starts from the inside, with sweet, small steps. Focusing my mind on caring for myself by honoring my body, I am inspired to do even more. As I see my body as a temple, I treat it with respect. Health is already within me, waiting to flow out in my own living expressions. What is your sweet small step into the upward health spiral today? What is your plan to do? What is your plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Let's take that into our meditation today. Let's take our first breath of gratitude. Breathe it in through the heart. Breathe it in. Whatever is up for you today. And exhale. Exhale all that is not yours to do in this moment. And start over with the next breath. Gather yourself in. your breath to light you up. Yourself drifting, gather yourself back to center. Gather yourself back to your one wild, precious life. Everything of intelligence innocently watches the way One manages their body and silver. One's Kara form is as a divine audition to the Firmament's Ballet Company. Tell me, what is it that you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? I mean, this grasshopper, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down into the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? We remember this place, this wild and precious place, always accessible, always available when we drop down from our heads to our hearts, underneath our breath. This place of joy and health and home, where we reset so that we can be the light and we can be the light to others. We are the gardeners of our lives. And this place helps us choose. We remember this place. I'm going to close with a poem by St. Francis of Assisi. It's called Like Roots. Our hands imbibe like roots, so I place them on what is beautiful in this world, and I fold them in prayer, and they draw from the heavens light. And so it is. Thank you all for joining me here, and those people that will join us later for this Shelter in Grace. It happens every morning at 9:45 through the end of June. If you have any feedback from me, you can email me at revmem@unitysf.com. My cat seems to be having an existential dilemma. Blessings on you all, and have a lovely, lovely day.